Welcome everyone to Plastic Cards Podcast, the show where we break down the video game news of the week. My name is Fonzie. I'm joined by my indie game dev co-host. And Gavin, I don't have a cool name for you. I just need you to hug me and love me this time. Gavin Jones, how are you doing?
Damn it, I had a suggestion for you too. I forget. What was it? Tin Daddy? I think that's...
So what is a Tin Daddy?
It's just what you keep... I've been playing through BioShock 2, and one character keeps referring to you as the Tin Daddy or the Iron Daddy. Or
no, I like Iron Daddy. Let's go with Iron Daddy. Yep.
Yeah, the Iron Daddy. So...
Gavin, the Iron Daddy Jones, how are you doing?
Ooh, I'm good. I'm good. Just very isolated.
Yep, I think we're all just trying to survive one day at a time, and it keeps getting worse. But what can you do?
Yeah, it's not. This week it definitely got got bad in New York. Just it's like it got hit by a train. Washington got pretty bad the last 2 days. I think we had, I want to say, 60 deaths. So it's all. It's grim.
It's grim.
Grim and scary. And I'm like the only one, like, our office is so not spread out. Like, I asked for, I get this corner office, which sucks too, because I'm the entire building length away from our printer. So I'm getting my steps in. I tell you what.
It's like upstairs and there's hoops you got to jump through to use this printer.
Dude, I'm going to get like Heelys and just wheel my way across the office.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Dude,
the ladies will be lining up once you start healing around the office. Like the ladies are just gonna can't help themselves.
But they're not allowed in the building. That's the thing. So
yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Well, what have you been using to take your mind off of how fucked up everything is? What have you been playing?
Just a lot of exercise, and I tried playing. I was so excited for what did I play? So I played some Tormentor X Punisher, which
oh yeah,
that game I think it's very apparent from like A, you watch the intro, and then B, you play it, and this game is so punk rock, it gives zero fucks. Absolutely. I would deem it barely playable. And I wouldn't even say that's a bad thing for this game.
That's like what they went for with this, because I haven't watched the trailer yet. I do have a thing queued up. I wanted to kind of check this out. I know you recommended it to me.
At least the intro is fantastic. I mean, it's free. You might as well just give it a shot on the Epic Store and understand just how punk rock and just this game doesn't give a fuck. And that's fantastic.
We did talk and check this out. I'm looking at it's top down. It reminds me of and I've been playing a lot of Doom lately. It looks like a top down Doom. It looks pretty fucking nuts.
Right. I mean, it kind of. I think it was a half step since I can't play Doom right now to play this super intense one hit and you're dead. Demons coming at you from all angles.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you can see the intro, I would highly recommend it. It's just over the top and it sets the tone perfect. But it it's.
Were you able to finish this? How far were you through this? Is there an ending? It looks like it just keeps going.
I think it's just a round base, like survive as long as you can, and I can't survive past the first boss. So yeah, it's intense. And then I played some One Step from Eden. Which makes me sad. I think I don't like it. Which, it's not. I've been looking around online, and a lot of people do like it, so that's cool. But I figured, I really like roguelites, and I really loved Mega Man Battle Network back in the day, which is just very similar. But I think there are some benefits that Mega Man Battle Network had that this doesn't. You essentially have this deck that you go through one ability at a time, and it's hard to pay attention to that. Like, the way I kind of wrote it down in my notes is it's a game that would be great if you had three eyes and they could all look at different things at the same time. It's hard to pay attention to your side, the enemy side, and what abilities you have. It's just hard to... I think they could have used space better. I think the outlines on enemies is not unique enough. They all kind of blend in, and they blend in with the background. Like, they don't make these things pop. So it's got a lot of issues that kind of kill it for me, which makes me sad because they've been working on it for years and years and years. And it's a game that I really wanted to be good, and I just don't it's not for me. And you can tell there's so much work got into it. It's got like a bajillion items and abilities. Like it just keeps it's really, but
the footage
me
reminds me, I want to say this last week, I've been seeing a lot of stuff online. People are posting it, excited for it as well, but I didn't catch any reviews or any other. I don't know if you're feeling the same as far as, what else online as far as people are feeling the same way, or if you kind of are an outlier or where you
I haven't really seen a lot of reviews either. I've seen a lot of people that play roguelikes getting into it. But yeah, it just, and I think something too that Mega Man Battle Network had is you're on a 3x3 grid, and this goes up to a 4x4, which I thought would be fine. But when you're on a 3x3 grid, it's impossible to get lost. I don't even really have to look at myself to know where I am. But on a 4x4 grid, and there's tons of shit coming at you from all angles, it's really hard to pay attention to 100% of the screen at once. So
gotcha.
It's a little.
That's a bummer. Was this on Epic or on Steam?
That was on Steam. And then BioShock 2, which I've been now I'm slightly further than I did last time I played it. And I absolutely am fucking loving this game. It's like nice. This is the escape I needed. I needed it. You're fully sucked in that world. You're all the way immersed, except for when it's crashing, and it's crashing a lot.
Really?
Yeah. But when it's not crashing, you're fully sucked in that world. It's amazing. The gameplay is fantastic, and I really love it. So I'm going to play that, and then when I get done, probably go to Wander Song to really escape from all of this.
Gotcha. You mentioned that it's crashing often. Is that are you playing the remastered version, or did you find the original?
I am, yeah.
Online?
Which had crashing issues.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know really how much was changed in the remaster. And I do know that it was crashing more when I ran at 1080p, so I had to downgrade to 720p.
Yeah.
And for the section I'm at, which is crashing consistently, it's really hard to go forward like 2 minutes. I may have to go even lower, which I don't know what that's going to look like, but it's interesting.
Huh.
But it's definitely frustrating when you have those sections where you have to defend a little sister, and I love those sections too. You have to defend a little sister, and then as soon as you get done and it crashes, it's so frustrating. But what have you been playing?
Well, really just Doom. Just kind of hitting it hard with Doom. I've been having a blast playing it and finally finished it, and it's awesome, man. It's I can go into just for an hour talking about it, but it's really fucking cool. Maybe at this point, it's early on in this year, and although it seems like it's been 2 years so far, it's my game of the year this year for sure. So I want to see how it stacks up with everything else, but it's gonna be tough. I want to say, like, looking at further first-person shooters, what they've done with Doom, I want that same attention to detail, and I don't want to accept anything else. So with id, they fully understand what Doom is, and they're just pushing the envelope. They're whatever doesn't work, they throw it out. They're always just building towards something new. And I want these next first person shooters to follow that same suit. With Halo, I think that's like the biggest one on my radar that's coming up. Right. That next Halo. There's a lot weighing on that next Halo for sure, but on top of that, putting that up next to Doom, it's like, make sure that Halo is dialed into what that property is, and that's where you find success too. It's like you just lean into that as hard as you can, and I think that's why it is so fucking awesome right now, and why this Doom is it's nuts, and it's so fun to play. It's so fast but smart. You have to think about what you're doing. You have to change out weapons constantly. You can't rely on one technique. You have to always be reacting, and it's so fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have you give it a? You still no? It broke your computer, right? So you have no way now to.
It's refunded,
gotcha.
Which is nice. My first ever refund. But yeah, I'm sad I can't play it right now. Hopefully one day I can. It just seems like so up my alley. Right. It's been interesting seeing people's comments on it though. I've definitely seen a theme of a lot of people, or a surprising amount of people feel that 2016 was better. Like it almost felt like it's almost like they were made in reverse order. Some people saying like it's like 2016 is Doom Eternal if they trimmed out all these all the finickiness, I suppose, from it, and just made it just a pure just go through and have fun, which has been it's certainly interesting. but I don't know. I haven't played it, so I don't know how that stacks up in my mind. I never finished 16.
Yeah.
I know so many people that have never finished Doom 2016, so I don't know that that's necessarily a fair comparison.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I don't share that same idea, but I'd like to see some of those breakdowns. I did read online various just influential people in the industry who didn't really like this Doom, and I can't understand why. I mean, it was just so innovative and a step forward, and I just can't really see it from that angle. But I know there are a few, just not as happy views on it. But I'm totally. And now I'm watching all the YouTube videos and understanding the lore and trying to learn more about it. I'm just fully a Doom fan now. This thing is lit a fire in my butt for sure.
I would be really curious to know, and you can't tell me because I want to play it and find out, but I'd be really curious to know why there are giant demons and what appears to be giant demon slayers. I'm really curious as to how that's a thing. And it'd be cool if in the game you get to play as a giant demon, whatever you are again, Doom guy, which I could see happening. I don't want to know, but I could definitely see that being a cool finale, sort of like the original God of War in that sense, where everyone goes giant and.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I mean, it's anything's possible, Gavin. You never know if you put your mind to it. It could happen that way. It could not happen that way. Who knows? There's definitely. I think you're referring to there's these mechs, these big robot looking things.
They were
the
mechs.
Foreground. Well, that's
okay.
I'm pretty sure that's what you're thinking of. There's stuff like that in the background.
Well, no, because there's mechs. There's what look like human built mechs, and then there's what look like Demon Slayer or Doom guys. And I'm guessing those are either a different kind of mech or they're literally just a human enlarged, which is kind of what they look like, but I don't know. So.
Gotcha. Well, I'll leave it there. I mean, you definitely got to play it. I guess there wasn't anything that really dropped the ball for me. I haven't touched the multiplayer at all. I have no interest in it, but it is there. It doesn't tickle any itch for me or scratch an itch for me, so I am not pursuing it, but it's there. Yeah.
It does seem like the multiplayer is for people who are just ridiculously hardcore good at that game, and I just walk in and get destroyed, and that wouldn't be fun.
Yeah.
Speaking of multiplayer, that was the thing with playing through BioShock 2 again. I wish I could play that multiplayer with people. I really want to remember what it was like.
Oh, yeah. I remember vaguely, I don't know if everyone was super positive about it, or it was one of those things that was kind of shoehorned, or if they actually did a decent job at it. I forget.
I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
But I can't remember enough. I want to say it was a different team that made it. And gotcha. I remember it was cool that it's basically the prequel to BioShock 1, because that's the story of all these people fighting and destroying Rapture.
Oh, sure. That's a good idea, actually. I didn't think about how it can actually connect to the story, because, these people have to society has a breakdown, so it's them breaking down and fighting each other.
Yeah.
That's dope. Cool. Oh, yeah, I need to play it. I have the remastered. I think that's the only one I haven't fully completed all the way on my own. I finished the first, finished the third. I need to. And there's even DLC in the third one in Infinite that takes you back to Rapture too, and they kind of remaster it. They redo it, but yep.
I think that's what I'm gonna play next after this. Well, no, I don't know. Anyway, back to news though.
Yeah, some stuff happened. Luckily, it was all today that everything really happened, besides some stuff last week. But we finally got Resident Evil 3, the demo released, and we have the actual.
I thought it was out. I feel like I've seen people play it.
They might be playing it. I know the demo was out last week, and the game comes out fully this week. It's April 3rd, April 7th, something like that. Which I think April 3rd was just Friday, so it's coming out this week. The reviews all dropped today, and they're kind of all over the place, but they're still pretty positive mostly. But I have a breakdown of the reviews. So we have the RE3 review roundup. So IGN gives it a 9, which is at the top kind of tier. We have Game Informer at a 9, Easy Allies at 8.5, Destructo at 8. Then it starts to kind of go downhill. We got GameSpot at 6, PC Gamer at 58. I want to say that's out of 100. US Gamer 3.5 out of 5. And
it's out of 10. It's just that good.
It's possible, yeah. And VG247 3 out of 5. So overall, Metacritic has it at 80. It's very interesting. A lot of the criticisms that I'm reading are because of the campaign length. So it's around 5 to 6 hours, which I want to say RE2 Remake was around there, but RE2 has a lot of replayability. I guess this one doesn't have as much. That's a lot of the big criticisms too.
What makes RE2 replayable?
Well, they have two different storylines you can take it from. So there's Claire and is it not Chris Redfield, but the other guy. They're very generic to me, but the two players you can play basically the same experience, but it's from two different perspectives. So they meet each other a lot, but they also split off and do their own thing. But they're virtually the same campaigns, but you can play it twice basically. Then they unlock a game plus mode for each character. So I mean, there's really technically 4 ways you can play it. Each playthrough unlocks a little bit extra. There's alternate things you can find. I think I ended up playing all 4 of them too. Like it was actually fun enough to keep playing it. But you kept unlocking stuff as you did that, different endings, that kind of thing. With this one, apparently it's not exactly the same, and so that's just a big gripe that people had. If they had gripes, it was the fact that there isn't a lot pulling you to play it again.
Gotcha. Well,
I know
that's too bad.
Yeah. For me, I've been really excited for this one, especially after playing that demo. But with, I'm not actually, that rubbed the wrong way with the 5 to 6 hour campaign. That's actually kind of what I prefer lately. But what's a bummer?
How long was it originally?
Good question. I don't know for that, like the original RE3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I never played it. I wouldn't say it's too far from that. I feel like 8 to 10 if it's really gonna. But I don't think it's any more than that. But that's just me kind of like looking back to kind of figure that out. But
yeah, I mean, I guess 5 to 6 is pretty short. I typically want 8 hours for this kind of thing.
That's true. And then although the 5 to 6 wouldn't be bad if you were playing it often, like if you were going back and unlocking stuff, then it's like, okay, I can see where that's shorter is actually better. But also, I still wouldn't mind after everything if this was a cheaper if this was a cheaper release. So it's still at $60, which is a bummer. I think RE2 Remake was around $40. But it was just that campaign. This one has the Resistance beta or multiplayer thing added to it, which I have zero desire to play. But that's what brings it to the $60 price tag, and I think it's just kind of a bummer.
Yeah, that's fair.
I just don't. I feel like did they add this because they didn't really, Capcom didn't have faith in releasing this thing on its own, like the Resistance thing on its own, so they just kind of attached it and said, here you go, $60. Like I just don't want to have to buy that. I just want the RE3 campaign.
Right. Well, that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, I mean the reviews are still pretty positive for the most part. There were some gripes on it, but I think it's still more of that RE2 remake style, and that's what I want.
I mean, it almost makes me wonder if they just really wanted to get this one out of the way as quick as they could so they can get to 4.
Yeah, which I don't mind that at the same time.
Right. And the 4's campaign will be long. I remember that being it takes a while to get through 4, and I can't imagine they'd be changing that much. So,
right? No, that's what I hear with 4 as well. I've played through maybe a third to a fourth of the campaign of 4, and really? I know you're jumping around. Yeah, I think the furthest I've gotten it was on Wii actually. So I got it for Wii a couple years ago.
That's supposed to be the best version though.
Yeah, and that's why I got it. But it was just like it was a family's Wii, and so they ended up needing it back. So I just never played it again. But it was dope. That was just the furthest I got through it. And I think I'm just gonna hold out for the remake, which hopefully it's soon. But at least a year, 2 years out.
It'll be interesting to get your perspective, having never finished it, because it sounds like you didn't get to the really batshit crazy, and it's not out of this world batshit crazy for a Resident Evil game. It's well within that degree of batshit crazy, but it is. I don't know. Towards the end, it was just so weird. So it's going to be interesting.
I've seen various stuff. Like there's that shorter guy who's just kind of nuts. Like you interact with him. I've seen that. Yep. And I think that's really where it starts getting off the rails. But that's where I kind of always end when I do go back and replay it.
So you didn't get to the zombies with the crossbows yet then? Or wait, were those in? No, I feel like that was later.
Huh.
Yeah.
I know the townspeople, they're attacking you, and then everything, when you shoot their heads, they explode into like weird tentacles. I know that. I fought the golem guy, the huge golem guy, the thing in the lake, that big swamp thing in the lake.
That scene looks so pretty back in the day. Yeah. It's weird with that game. I always remember it being so photorealistic, and then when I look back, I can't physically look at Leon's fucking face. It's upsetting. But back in the day, Oh, and I thought it was so cool. I wanted to
Right.
pull off that dumb hair part that he did, which I
You
tried.
could do that. You could get that.
I did my hair like that one day to go to school, and my mom made me turn around and fix my hair because it looked so bad. But I don't know. I was like, I wanted to be like Leon. He's got a big nose like me. Like
He does roundhouse kicks, and he's
yeah.
awesome. Well, one day, Gavin,
Yeah.
you can pull off the hairstyle, but
There we go. I don't know what to call it.
the Leon, just go to your barber. You can't now, but go to your barber and say, "I want a Leon," and he'll say,
Can you
"Please
give me
leave."
the Leon S. Kennedy?
You have to go in the back for that, buddy. I don't know. It's like some kind of sketchy thing.
God. What sex move is that?
Yeah. Well, Gavin, our next news story here is some Nintendo rumors that it's pretty much everyone across the board is confirming them, apparently. So
There
You're
are parts
skeptical?
of this that I think people are getting a little ahead of themselves.
it's possible. It's possible.
Yeah.
But since there isn't a whole lot, we'll latch onto it and blow it up as much as we can. So let's see
Yes.
here. We got
There we go.
Nintendo planning to announce new Mario games and remasters to celebrate series' 35th year anniversary. This is Ethan Gatch of Kotaku. That news comes from a report by the British gaming website Video Games Chronicle, which says the remasters are to be revealed alongside new information about the Super Nintendo World theme park and animated Super Mario movie Nintendo is working on with Universal Studios. So Eurogamer confirms the FGC report that says that Super Mario Galaxy is coming to Switch alongside other 3D Mario favorites. New Paper Mario reconfirmed Super Mario 3D World will receive a deluxe version with new levels. So yeah, it's until this is confirmed by Nintendo, this is still rumors and stuff. It seems like larger publications are saying that they are hearing stuff that's rumblings, and so this is adding credence to this kind of thing. I mean, I along with everyone else, of course, is super excited because this is what everybody wants. Like, just bring these games to Switch, bring everything to
Right.
Switch.
Right, absolutely. It'll be. I know I heard rumors of them putting all the 3D games together in like a collection and calling it like what was that game back in the day on the Super Nintendo?
All-Stars.
Yeah, Super Mario All-Stars 3D.
That'd be dope.
Which I just don't see happening. That's
Nope.
so much work and effort. They're not gonna make the money back if they sell that for $60.
No, I imagine they'll sell each of them individually for sure and just rake in so much money.
Right. It would be nice if they do sort of, a refresh of Super Mario 64. It'd be nice if they did the DS version, because that was really cool. It had new levels. It had new characters.
Did that one have
but it can-
multiplayer in it?
Maybe.
I feel like you could. I remember you having 4 people, and you could possibly play in the same world at the same time. I know there's some kind of aspect. I feel like that was a thing, but
Maybe.
Hmm.
But it, just had more stuff, and I imagine. But the shitty thing is you were playing that game on the DS with no analog stick.
yeah,
So it played like garbage, and it wasn't necessarily its fault. So that could be really fun. It'd be interesting. I'd love to play through Super Mario Sunshine again. I really like that game. I know it's very hit or miss, but for me, it was a hit. Although I wasn't as huge on the Galaxy games as a lot of people were. I know a lot of people really love those games. But yeah, I wasn't super into them.
really. Those ones always caught my eye because, and I've yet to finish them with the Galaxy series. Just the whole 3D aspect to it and adding the 3D puzzles, and there's a lot of that's in Odyssey where they kind of expand on the ability to just move around in the way that you do on Galaxy. But if I'm excited for anything, it's to revisit Galaxy on the Switch. Like, that's really for me what I want to jump into.
Right. It'll be curious to see how. I mean, I think those controllers do still have motion controls, so I guess it wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah.
But it'd be interesting.
I do think it's probably highly unlikely that they do some kind of bundle. How would you do that when each one of these is a killer app where you can sell it on its own for sure? So why not just stagger these and maybe spread them out to where, as they look down the next 2 years, where the Switch lineup is maybe a little light, they can add these different tentpole games and just release them that way.
I think the thing that's got me a little bit nervous as well is the other leaked rumors that they're going to announce a new Paper Mario style game. And Paper Mario fans were just so we've been not. I don't know if the word traumatized is correct, but we've just got like the last quite a few Paper Mario games have been absolute garbage. Sticker Star, Color Splash. I've heard nothing but bad things about them. I want to say there was one more, which is so sad because back in the day, the Mario RPGs were really good. Super Mario RPG, Paper Mario 1 and 2. A lot of the earlier Mario and Luigi games were just absolutely fantastic. These games actually make you laugh out loud. So it's just one of I don't. Do we trust the people making it if they are making another one? Like,
it's true.
It's I don't know.
Do you think so? This apparent remaster, whole series of remasters was apparently supposed to be revealed at an announcement that's also talking about the Universal Studios deal they got going on. Do you think they maybe just kind of not announce anything with their Universal Studios? I feel like it's just not the right time because no one's going out anywhere. So maybe put that on the shelf. Keep working on it for sure if they can.
Right.
But I'm also interested in that movie if they can finally show what they're thinking of with a return to Mario on screen.
Did you say that? Because I wasn't paying attention to that, apparently.
Yeah, so it's there's apparently, along with that theme park news, which is what they were supposed to reveal this remaster with, there's an animated Super Mario movie Nintendo's working on in addition to that. And I think it's more like Detective Pikachu, where it's a mixture, and Sonic, a mixture of CG and reality. But
that would make me a bit nervous. Just, I mean, it's always weird. Like, are we going to be putting him around normal humans like we do in Odyssey and dealing with that aspect? Is it going to be the Mushroom Kingdom? I don't know. That would be. Let's just do Captain N, the Game Master, and bring that back.
Yeah.
And do the style with that. That would actually be sweet. Now I want that. We get that. But
when's the last time you watched the original Mario Bros. Movie?
It's been maybe since college.
Yeah. I need to watch that again soon.
You know what we should do? We should watch it. I think. Let me see. I think this exists. Rift Tracks. Mario
Oh, like with
Bros.
some kind of software where you can stream it or watch it in tandem with someone?
Yeah. Have you ever watched Rift Tracks?
I've heard of it, but I've never actually watched it.
So it's essentially it's exactly Mystery Science Theater 3000. It's the original cast of that, but they do it over modern movies. Now they don't have the rights to a lot of stuff, so you typically have to buy it. You have to have the DVD and then start the track at the exact same time.
Oh, okay.
But they're absolutely. I mean, it took Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull and watched that, and it went from what should be a terrible movie to an absolute laugh out loud riot. Or like The Room, which I don't know how I'd watch that without the riff track. So I could see doing the Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
With that, I think it'd be a great way of doing
That'd be
it.
dope.
But no, I haven't seen it. We should watch it.
Yeah, it's
when
such a
we
weird
can
movie.
again.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah. You hated it though. I remember back in the day when we were in high school, remembering you saying how much you hated it because you abhor John Leguizamo. Just physically
I think
upset.
you're thinking of I might be
No,
misremembering, but like I really didn't like him in The Pest. I had a hard time watching him in The Pest.
Well, that was a terrible movie.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought. I have a family that think otherwise, think it's awesome, but I guess I don't really hate him. But it's just he's in a lot of bad stuff. Like I also think of him as that clown in Spawn, and I just get grossed out.
Oh, that's right. I
annoyed.
forgot. Okay, so you can if you do Mario Brothers on Rift Tracks, you can actually get the whole movie plus the Rift Track for $9.99.
Oh, nice.
So that's the way to do it. Maybe that's my plan for tonight. Maybe that's what I'm gonna do. We get a refresh, break, come back, and then follow it up with I see the wizard is on here. So we'll
oh no, I never watched that. That'd be actually cool.
You
to
never
see.
watched that?
I've never seen it.
Oh, I have no idea how it would stack up. It was a weird movie
Because it's just like
as a
Nintendo
kid,
propaganda, right?
It was, but as a kid, like there's that scene where they're all meeting up to play these games and they do a tournament and you're super excited, and then at the end, like they whip out Mario Brothers 3 and they're all trying to get as far as they can or get as many points as they can.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's super neat.
I know there's the Power Glove makes an appearance somehow. Some guy wears it or punches somebody in the face. I don't know.
That's my that was my senior quote too. That line.
What?
I love the Power Glove. It's so bad.
Yikes.
That was my senior
As you did
quote.
your Heelys and flew out of there.
I had a pair too.
I don't doubt it, Gavin. You're a lady killer.
You know.
Well, Gavin, I
What were we
got
talking
our
about?
next.
Mario.
Yeah. Well, Mario's. Hopefully we'll see this come out soon. But also, Nintendo usually likes to do things that aren't what the community wants. So they're kind of changing it, but it's also more in line for Nintendo to go, yeah, that's cool. We're not going to do any of that, but it's fine. You guys are talking about it. Yeah, we'll see. But we have some Call of Duty news. This started leaking last night and just has completely fucking just come off the wheels. So this is a Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Remaster releases Tuesday, according to PSN Leak. So the original articles from GameSpot, Alessandro
Did we
Barbosa.
not have a Modern Warfare 2 remastered?
No, we have the one before this, and then we have Modern Warfare, and then we have like the Battle Royale mode and all that stuff. But this is a remaster of that sequel, original sequel. It has yet
But
to.
they did remaster Modern
Yes.
Warfare though.
Yep.
So
Yep.
remaster. Now we have a remake.
Yes. Well, I mean the terminology
Well, this
they're
one
using
changes
is
the
remaster.
story. Well, but
Oh,
the
sure.
one that just released, it's not a. Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. So the Modern Warfare, the 2019 one is kind of a remake to that whole thing. And what
Right,
they're talking about
different.
here, they do have a remaster of Modern Warfare, and now this is also a remaster of the sequel to that one. So it's kind of leaked here and there as far as news goes, but apparently this is all coming out. There's also a trailer which we should watch as well too. But GameSpot has an article here. A remaster of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is indeed real, according to a PSN listing in Germany now removed. It's also set to launch for far sooner than you might expect, with the revitalized campaign scheduled for tomorrow, March 31st. It will retail for $30 US. The remaster was leaked previously thanks to a ratings listing on a South Korean ratings board after having been rumored to be in development since the launch of Call of Duty Black Ops 4 in 2018. Here's the video, Gavin. I don't know if you have the ability to check this out. I haven't watched it yet. What do you remember about Modern Warfare 2, that original campaign?
The campaign is where, for me, Call of Duty sort of jumped the shark. As far as stuff, it felt like, I don't know. It just didn't feel as genuine as it did in Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
That being said, Modern Warfare 2 probably had my favorite multiplayer of any Call of Duty. It just had just the right amount of customization, just the right amount of chaos, dual wielding, the one shotgun, like the one from Terminator. I don't know what it's called, but it had the
sure,
you spin it to reload, and you could dual wield those.
Yep.
It was really, really fun, and I sunk so many hours into Modern Warfare 2.
I do remember the Russian. Was it no Russian campaign?
No Russian.
That was a big deal when that came out. Oh, was Nuketown originally on this as well?
No.
Or was that on the one before this?
I think Nuketown was Black Ops.
Gotcha. Oh, I think you're right. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about the submarine part. God, this is pretty.
Yeah.
I mean, this is quite a remaster. They're definitely up-resing models.
Are they using the Modern Warfare, like the new one, that engine, you think? Because I think that last remaster of the original Modern Warfare, that one was just kind of made it look slightly prettier, but this looks like a legit, like they're using the new engine for this one.
I don't know. Yeah, it looks super. That's just so much work. I mean, I imagine they save a little bit of time from not having to redesign it because they're just copying the old design, but that's still so many models.
Yeah.
This is. Why would they release it so soon, though? They're just splitting up their community a bajillion ways.
So that's the thing. This is just going to be the campaign and not the multiplayer, apparently. So I think that's how they avoid splitting it further. So what they at the end of this trailer, they do show off there is in-game Modern Warfare 2 stuff you can use in the multiplayer that's already existing, like the Battle Royale one, along with the other Modern Warfare multiplayer. But this is just the campaign, and then it unlocks different stuff you can use in the current existing multiplayer. But so in theory, it won't splinter anyone because it's just like a campaign you can play on its own, and then you can still do the regular multiplayer that everyone's playing.
This makes my head hurt. Okay.
Yeah, because there's currently like 3 different Modern Warfares out there, and it does get a big jumbled mess. But yeah, so this is just the campaign of Call of Duty Modern Warfare is this whole thing.
It's weird that they're like doing these releases of these remasters before they do the remakes of them, like they did with Modern Warfare, which is a retelling but different. So it's just it's so strange to me.
I wonder if this just buys them time until they remake it, or they wait longer to kind of swing back around. It's interesting.
And they have all these studios working on it. Like, is there now I don't know who's making this. Do they have a studio dedicated to doing the remasters? What?
That's a good question. I'm not sure who's actually tied to this.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll find out when they officially announce it, but apparently this is coming out tomorrow, so we'll see.
That's just that makes no sense.
Well, they like money and they know how to make it, so we'll see. I trust them and their ability to make money. I have been playing a lot more of Modern Warfare's Battle Royale mode, and it's pretty dope.
Nice.
I think it holds up, stacks up.
Yeah. It's fun to watch. I give it that. I do still think the whole concept of like, oh, I took damage, I'm just going to shove more armor plates in my vest, but I mean, how else are you going to do it?
Yeah, that is kind of
put on more helmets. Ooh, we need that version.
Where they just keep stacking up.
You see a guy with just stacks of helmets. That's who you got to take down right there.
Be cool if you could push open the door slowly with your stack of helmets, and that's how you can like enter a room.
I think what's that? Epic was it Epic Battle Simulator or whatever made that Battle Royale or totally realistic.
Yes, yeah, I know what
Battle
you're talking about.
Royale.
Yeah.
They need to do that.
That'd be dope. I would trust that team for sure. Gavin, our next article. This one has a lot to break down. I want to get your take on some of this stuff. So this is Epic's publishing deal. So it was announced last week, and there's more details that have come out of it, but it seems pretty nuts. So PC Gamer has a lot of these bullet points laid out. So this is Tyler Wilde writes, is Epic's publishing deal good? So here's how Epic's game publishing terms stack up. On top of everything else, Epic Games is now a publisher. Fortnite Baron Tim Sweeney and company announced the news last week by outlining
Baron?
Fortnite Baron. So last week outlined by Epic's financial agreement with the developers it'll be working with, which include Remedy and Playdead. So they've officially have them on board, and I think they're opening up to other devs as well. Epic revealed its store in late 2018 by announcing an 88% revenue share for developers. Now, so here's some of the bullet points of this publishing deal. So developers will have full creative control of their games. This claim is hard to assess without seeing the exact wording of the contract, but it'll mark it down as a commitment not to meddle with the creative details. A nice sentiment to start with. That one's pretty big on its own, that they're going to allow people or devs to hold the rights to their properties. So we have, in addition to that, we have developers retain 100% of all intellectual property, which is also more of that as well.
That's extremely rare. I remember hearing that from what's his name? The guy that made Spawn was talking about how his comic company did that, and they said you just can't find that anywhere in any industry. So having something like that is extremely rare.
Right, that's what it seems like. It seems like everything they're doing is kind of unprecedented. So we also have here, going back, we got developers retain 100% of the intellectual property. Epic Games Publishing will cover up to 100% of developing costs, which is pretty nuts. So from developer salaries to go-to-market expenses, such as QA, localization, marketing, and all publishing costs, the up to suggests this will vary from contract to contract, but one of Remedy's press releases confirms that Epic is providing the entire budget for its next 2 games. That's pretty dope.
I guess my question is, so they're publishing. How far and wide are they publishing? Are they allowing you to release as physical discs? Can you put stuff on Switch, Xbox, PS3? I would think they would want that if they're trying to recoup these costs. Yeah,
Right.
how far and wide are they going to let you go?
That's true, and I imagine they can tailor the contract to each dev and give more freedom to devs they fully trust, say like a Remedy or something that's more limited, but at least they're offering this base level apparently. So one of the other bullet points here: once costs are recouped, developers can earn at least 50% of all profits. After Epic makes back its investment and covers retail, marketing, and other costs, it'll split the rest of the revenue 50-50, which is also pretty nuts. It seems like they're kind of, are they reacting to the big dog Steam? They're just reacting to trying to gain that market share, just becoming this huge entity. So they're offering this huge deal for all these devs where it's like no one else is really trying to do that.
I mean, it's a bit different than that, though, because I mean, this is different than just being a marketplace. This is because otherwise you could just self-publish and it'd be fine, which you can still do. But this is very strange. I'm not convinced of what's in it for them. Splitting 50-50 once it's all said and done is, I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, it's just weird. But for a developer, that's huge, having 100% publisher costs, so you can make the game. And I mean, that's the biggest deal right there, right? You have to hope that you're going to make your money back, but if the cost was already covered, it's interesting. I'll be very curious to see how they push forward with this. Obviously, Remedy is world class.
Yeah.
So they're going to make their money back off of those. What's the Playdead? What does Playdead
So
make?
they did Inside. Do you remember that one from maybe about 2 years ago? It's
Yes.
they also made another one in the same style. I forget the other one. It's like not Underground, but Limbo.
Yeah. Are they gonna make their money back off of those kinds of games?
I mean, I loved Inside, and I feel like the caliber of game that dev is working on, I would, if I had a blank check, I'd give it to them too. But just creatively, I don't know about commercially, but I know creatively they make amazing stuff. But I don't know if that also turns over to dollars being spent. But
this seems very risky to me. I do. Yeah, it just makes me nervous when they say full creative control, but we're going to cover 100% of development costs. So what if, with my full creative control, I'm doing something stupid?
Yeah.
Those two seem mutually exclusive. You shouldn't be giving me whatever I want unchecked. I'm just going to do stupid shit. So I hope that's not necessarily true.
This makes me think also that they're going to choose very carefully who they give this kind of thing to. So you would have to be a dev that can show that creatively you can be trusted to just kind of take full reins and not have to worry about input from a publisher or anything. Like I feel like they're going to trust, just like the whole Sony thing with Kojima. They gave him a blank check and they said, hey, we know what you've done. This might take 10 years to come out, but we trust you. Go for it. And so I imagine the same kind of deal where they only go with devs that they can trust, or they have somewhat of a track record. I think hopefully they go with indies as well, because that team Playdead is on the indie side. So I think they are going with indies.
Right.
They are going with AAA, but it's a matter of trust too.
I think here's the question: is how long till Kojima gets published by Epic?
Yeah, it's possible
to do this, because this is all ringing his stuff right there.
Yep.
God, it's so strange.
Yeah, so
really
there's some
strange.
interpretation of this as well. So from other devs, so Vlambeer co-founder Rami Ismail, I think you've told me about this guy before, expressed awe at Epic's terms, saying that each bullet point exceeds industry standards. Quote, I have rarely heard of anything even close to this, he tweeted. Night Dive Studios, I know that they're familiar for something, I forget what they do. Director of Business Development, Larry Cooperman, who has worked in the industry for 2 decades, says the Epic's terms seem very favorable, but also notes that the devil is in the details, which we don't have very many of. For instance, most publishers tie funding to milestones, which can frustrate developers. Quote, this seems straightforward, but in practice, it impacts the course of development, says Cooperman. You do things in the order that gets you paid rather than what makes the most sense in your opinion. Does Epic's guarantee of creative control and full development funding mean that it's taking a different, maybe better approach to gaming production itself? We don't know. For now, Epic says it's only discussing what's in the announcement and that it will share additional information in the future. So yeah, I guess there's a skepticism, but also a lot of people in that industry are interested because no one else is offering this kind of thing.
Right. I guess the question too is how many, games can Epic really afford to fund at once? Yes,
sure.
Fortnite's making more money than God, but that it still costs a lot of money, especially to make a Remedy game.
Yeah, that's in the millions of dollars for sure. At least 10s, 20s, 30s. I don't know. It's getting up there because they make insane stuff. But yeah, we'll see. Ooh. I mean, I wonder if we fast forward 5 years and they're the next EA. They're the next Ubisoft. They're just making killer app after killer app.
How soon till we get a Epic E3?
I wouldn't doubt it.
Presser at this point.
Yeah, they're already kind of in line they have these big companies kind of aligned with them. If not already, they're publishing too. For these 2 big titles. So yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. Gavin, our next story here is of Valorant. So that's that FPS thing coming from Riot Games. So the article here is from Matt Perslow of IGN. Valorant closed beta begins in April. The new league starts soon. So Riot Games has announced that it is running a closed beta for Valorant, the upcoming PvP, FPS, LOL, OMG from the League of Legends studio. It'll begin
hobby grade. That's gracious.
It'll begin on April 7th for the closed beta. So Riot is running Valorant's closed beta in collaboration with Twitch, and you'll need both a Riot account and Twitch account to take part. You'll need to link your accounts, and when the closed beta goes live, you'll need to watch Valorant's streams highlighted by Twitch. Watching these provides the opportunity to be entitled for closed beta access, according to a press release from Riot. It appears that watching the streams is not a guarantee to access the beta. Right. So far, there's no word on when or if the beta will transition from a closed to an open format, but many games open up their betas in the weeks or months leading up to full release. Riot intends to launch Valorant this summer, so there is not too long of a wait. Are you interested in this, Gavin? Do you think you might try and jump in on this beta? What do you think?
I'd definitely try, even though this is definitely not my kind of game. I'm just absolute garbage at Counter-Strike, and this is very much up that alley. So I'll play it. I'll get destroyed, but it'll be interesting to see. I definitely know a fair amount of Counter-Strike players that I'm excited to watch play this and see how they do. It's going to be interesting. I hope the formula that they're going for works. It'll be interesting. Yeah. And especially if they can achieve their goals of really anti-cheat that actually works.
Yeah. And
getting rid of lag. It'd be pretty interesting. It'd be pretty cool if Riot Games has 2, competitive games that people are watching all the time. That'd be
Well, I wonder it's kind of crazy to try and jump into this space with like a competitor to Counter-Strike because it's it's like the nerdiest of the nerdy where it's very hardcore. So if you fuck up a little bit, they just go see you later. Like they really have to be on their P's and Q's. But I think they understand that with going forward. So, but it's just like, and also if you're jumping into this beta, you can't really be a new Counter-Strike player jumping into this beta. Like you have to be a veteran because the people that are also going to be playing this are going to be top notch. You can't just kind of stumble in and think that you're going to be able to play at all decently. Like you're going to be playing against, even though this is a new game, just people who are already at a high caliber are going to be. That's the group that's attracted to this kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So my 8-year-old nephew isn't going to be like, oh, let's check out this Valorant thing. He's going to be crying in 10 seconds with all the stuff going on. Like you can't just accidentally fall into this.
Look, if there's one thing that I've learned from playing games online is that being prepubescent makes you leagues better at any shooter on the market also means you've also slept with everyone's mom. I guess that's just how it works.
Yeah, it's facts, Gavin. What can you do? We're not scientists. We can't dispute it. Gavin, that's all I have officially for you. Did you have anything you wanted to add to the docket? Wanted to break down?
Let's see here. Something weird. I would love to understand how it worked, but I was playing BioShock 2. I found this weird fortune teller called like Epstein the Magnificent.
What?
And I put in $1, and the first thing he says was super rapey. I don't know. Okay. This is ahead of its time.
You think it'd be like, look into it, I didn't kill myself or something like that, but
yeah, no. It was very creepy. Let's see here. So I got two things on here. One that I typed was what the world needs now is Dunk Lords. I'm gonna write this out in the file so you can look up the trailer.
Dunk Lords, okay.
Yeah, so I was surfing through Steam, and there are two games on Steam that are kind of one of these is trending, the other one was just recommended for me. Yeah. But Dunk Lords, am I allowed to edit this? I'm not. So dunk, like you're dunking a basketball, and then Lords.
Gotcha.
And it's like an NBA Jam with like a little bit of
that looks dope.
Right? I want to play that. We need to play some Dunk Lords, and it'll be like NBA Jam with a little bit of blitz because you have that melee aspect to it. But yeah, it just looks fun. That's what the world needs right now. We need online NBA Jam stupidness.
Yep. Oh yeah.
So yeah, cool. That was a really cool one.
This would be awesome as an arcade cabinet. Like I would love to see this and actually play it like next to someone. You can't do anything like that now, but it'd be cool to be able to play this next to an actual person.
Right. I'd be curious to know if the different characters, because I think they said there's like 32 characters or something like that. If they do play differently, if they have slightly different stats and abilities, that'd be interesting. The other game that's really cool, you might want to pull up a trailer for. It's just fucking gorgeous. It's called Iron Danger. Terrible name. I really hate that name. Iron Danger. Yeah. But it is a top-down dungeon crawler where, to a certain degree, save scumming is built into the game because you can rewind a certain amount of seconds. So it's all very precise movements, and you're putting in these commands, and you see how it plays out, and then you can rewind and fix it. So it just throws incredibly stupid hard challenges at you. Tons of enemies, really tough enemies.
Yeah, I'm watching footage of it. It actually looks really cool. Just at least the quality of what's going on, and I can tell the time mechanic. So are they almost trying to show you like just failing over and over again to like reset and try to figure out, okay, I need to take it from this angle, that kind of thing? Like there's a lot of replaying a level.
Not so much a level, just so much as like a series of seconds.
Gotcha.
So you can rewind so many seconds. So after you go too far, you're locked in. So really micromanaging all these little movements, you have all these abilities, and just sort of how you use those is just super neat. And I think that's a really cool game for a lot of people that a lot of people are going to enjoy.
Yeah, it looks dope.
So that was a cool one, and it's just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, I'm seeing footage of this like almost robot-looking dude, like ancient robot-looking dude who's glowing, but still has this like stone kind of stuff going on. It's really beautiful, and the lighting is nuts too.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So I hope it does well. I know it's been trending on Steam, which is why I even found out about it. I'm looking at it like, what's this stupid name, Iron Danger? But it's been trending for like a week. So
yeah,
clearly there's something there, and it looks fantastic.
Nice. Let's check that out. Yeah. I don't know if playstyle wise it's up my alley, but it is beautiful. Yeah. Like I wish I was more interested in these games, like so also like Diablo, that kind of thing. I wish it just caught on to me, because I feel like I could just dump so much time into those.
Yeah, I think my issue with those kinds of games is I can feel the fact that the game wants me to just be grinding for hours,
Gotcha.
and that doesn't appeal to me. I'll watch like some pro Path of the Exile streamers, and
Okay.
it's weird when you get to that high level and it just looks like your character is constantly exploding and taking out waves of enemies within seconds, and that just doesn't seem fun to me. Yeah, I don't know.
Gotcha. Yep. I hear you. I hear you. You know, one of the other things I had that I'm trying to pull up in real time now, but it is that Dreams PS4 Forest that someone had made. That looked absolutely insane. And I see the one from 2 weeks ago, but it's a whole thing here that somebody has. That's tough. There's this is from 5 days ago. Okay, yeah. So this is a collection here. I'm gonna scrub through and send this to you.
Okay.
This, yeah. I wish I had the exact one. This one isn't the exact one here, so that's maybe the bummer. But it is on the docket now. At the very bottom.
See you. Is this the one you already showed me?
Yeah, it's the same one, or this is kind of a different version of it. But yeah, no. So I saw that over the weekend, and it's just insane. Like, so the actual footage shows you walking through, and you see the forest, you see this waterfall. There's the. I'm just kind of. I don't understand how they're doing the textures the way they're doing them. Where in the background they just look properly, kind of not focused the way it would in real life.
I would say the whole thing looks unfocused, which is probably why the background looks
Gotcha.
unfocused. Yeah, the whole thing looks blurry. What?
That's also the textures that, or the way you kind of create visual things in Dreams. They all have this like fuzziness to it, and I think that's also a product of how they scale up and down. Like they're scaling objects in the way that you don't notice like the edges, and I think they do that by doing the fuzziness. So the negative is when you make things, it kind of has this kind of slight, but even though with all the fuzziness, it still looks borderline, photorealistic. It's pretty insane.
I really wish, the mud just looks like someone took clay and like punched it into
to the
what
ground.
is this?
What do you see?
Realistic. I don't.
I'm sure I could find the tweet here actually.
Most realistic. So it's the next one. We're past the forest, and I don't know what I'm looking at. It almost looks like the Hellgast is about to murder some random king in his castle, or the fuck am I looking at?
Yeah, you can't get rid of that Dreams watermark either. That's kind of that'd be nice if you could.
The next one doesn't have it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Or is it like cropped to a point? I did. So I shared one at the very end of the docket again. That's like they've done a new one with snow. It's just the same kind of forest atmosphere or scenario, but there's just snow as well that's on the ground. Either way, it's pretty nuts. I don't know what you do with this, if you can actually make a game out of this, because I think all the hardware is right now processing that one scene, so you can't really add much to it. It's just you can walk around.
I think these are, in general, I think these are just sort of just, I don't know, it's almost like a painting, right? It's a painting that you can walk around in and appreciate. It's almost its own art form, really. And
I wonder, you could do some kind of like Gone Home type of gameplay where you're solving puzzles and you keep everything simple enough where you can have a fully rendered, background like that, but you just can't. The sacrifice is you can't do much else, so you have to rely on finding puzzles or maps or something like that. You'd have to just make sure the gameplay is just, there isn't any processing power left over, I imagine, to do anything else in this style of world.
Yeah, absolutely. And you could definitely do sort of like an Edith Finch, maybe.
Sure.
Where you get, this Mewtwo is upsetting to look at.
Me Too or Mewtwo?
Yeah. Are you not watching the same video that you sent me a link to?
No, I'm not. Not currently. I think I exited out of it. But it was like the 5 most realistic creations in Dreams.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes, I do have that. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's It's very like Dragon Ball Z like looking, where there's just too many muscles.
Yeah.
Everything has a muscle.
Right.
This also
Yeah,
looks like me out of the
that's
shower, but other than that, I don't appreciate the high detail.
Is that what that looks like?
Yeah, basically.
Goodness.
It's cool. A lot of this is
That's
just like not proof of concept, but just like proof of what's possible. But at the balance of you can't do anything else with this. You know, it's like you're rendering this thing
Right.
and that's it.
I mean, it's cool for, just creators. It's a
Right.
new way to create. So,
Or if the next step is with them being able to kind of scale stuff, if you make this highly detailed scene, you could scale this and make it a character model. And even though it's so highly detailed, the software in Dreams on its own can just kind of scale it for you and still add it to a game with that same like visual quality. It depends on their tech, but it seems like they make tech where you can scale stuff depending on the size. So,
something we forgot to mention was the random Nintendo Direct in the middle of last week.
You're 100% right. I just realized that. Yeah, it was like a secretive one.
Yeah. Also, did you are you playing the Control DLC yet?
I have it. I haven't got to that point yet. So, but that is on my docket to play because I loved Control. So I'm such an idiot / nerd where Control is on. I bought it on Xbox first. That's where my whole save was on it, right?
Sure.
The DLC is first on PS4, and I think it's not releasing on Xbox for a while. So it's on sale on the PlayStation Network. I bought it again just so I could play it on PlayStation. But also, I wouldn't do that unless I really love the game, and I really love this game. But that means I have to play it from the beginning. Yes, I'm insane.
So you're telling me, I want to get this straight.
Yes.
So we need to conserve money right now, and you're like, nah, buy it again.
Well, this is before I possibly lost my job, but still, it wasn't like I was adding Warbucks either. But I was still like, you know what? I'm going to buy that game. Hopefully somewhere this dev hears me spending the last bit of my money and appreciates it, but I don't think they will. But for that indie direct, that's basically what it was. It was an indie direct where they showed off a bunch of indies coming. I have quickly just like a pulled up version of some of the news here. So Exit the Gungeon is a game that's coming to Switch. Let's see. What are
the reviews on that? I watched Northern Lion play it and beat it first try, which very much surprised me. It looks tough. I don't know if it is tough. They showed off a bunch of Bravely Default 2,
right?
Which
that
voice acting work is rough.
Oh, really?
It is rough.
I haven't listened to that. There's a Cyanide and Happiness game which kind of came out of nowhere. I'm not sure that anybody wanted this, but apparently it's a game from that like webcomic.
I don't remember that.
So I have the breakdown. I just sent it to you at the end of the docket as well. But
didn't they made a battle royale at one point? Didn't they?
Oh, did they? Interesting. It would work in that world for sure.
Yeah, I do know they have a really cool. Have you seen their what the fuck?
From Cyanide and Happiness or like a different?
They have a couple of games out. I didn't realize. Did you ever play their card game? It's sort of like a what's that game?
Is it like the there's that conversational one you play at parties?
Yeah.
Not apples and oranges, but it's basically
like like apples to apples. What the fuck is it called? Cards Against Humanity. It's basically exactly Cards Against Humanity. You're building a you're just building a comic strip, and it's fucking hilarious. Freakpocalypse? Is that what this was? Yes, Freakpocalypse. Is this the sequel to Cyanide and Happiness adventure game, which I only just discovered because that's what it looks like.
Yeah, so I have there's like a trailer here that's like a 46-second trailer to what's going on. I don't know if it's just an announcement, but it It looks like more of the webcomic stuff, but okay, you are kind of walking around and interacting with characters. Okay. It's almost like a 2D, like a Paper Mario style in this in this world. Yeah. There's another one that stood out. Oh, okay, it's not on here yet, but it's they announced a Smash character too. It was somebody from ARMS that.
They didn't say who though. Yeah, that was sort of a strange-ish announcement. But I think that character will be fun.
Yeah, I'm sure. Oh, and
apparently.
Last Campfire was the game from from the devs who do the space game. Hello Games.
No Man's Sky.
Yeah, No Man's Sky, Hello Games. That's coming to Switch this summer.
I hope that game's good.
Yeah, I do too. And like just seeing footage and stuff, I feel like it's perfect for Switch. But I want to say they're downscaling this project to just kind of so it doesn't have to live up to the hype of No Man's Sky. And if it does come out, as long as it's fine and cool, then that's all they need to do. And just kind of start to distance a little bit from No Man's Sky and create some new stuff after that.
I mean, their previous games were pretty small too, so I wondered, do they go back to making smaller games? Like, it'd be weird for them to go from like a Joe Danger to starting to make like, I don't know, big adventure games. Like even what they did with No Man's Sky wasn't, well, originally it wasn't a shit ton of authored content. Towards the end, they found ways to really dive into that, but
yeah,
I don't know. I imagine this is sort of their like, all right, let's fucking relax project.
Yep.
While they have a team dedicated to working on No Man's Sky. So
yeah. I agree. It's a good tactic. And there's also this game Moving Out, which I think is the same team, or it looks just very similar to the there's that that cooking game where you're cooking with people and you have to, and it like destroys friendships.
Didn't you
and lives.
show this to me at one, like way back?
It's possible. Yeah, it's the same kind of idea where you have to just cooperate and move stuff together. Overcooked is the thing I'm thinking of.
Right.
It's basically Overcooked, but I don't think I can confirm it's the same devs.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it just looks.
It does look
like
fun though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could. Well, no, this looks different. There was a very similar game, but this looks adorable.
Right.
There's also another game kind of in that same vein where you like. You're working stretcher, like you're driving around an ambulance and you have a stretcher.
Yep, I want to play that one. I keep forgetting about it.
The faces on these things are too cute. Goodness.
Yeah, there were some ports too. There's Blair Witch is coming, so that was the one that was on Xbox first. They just announced that at an E3 and then it came out.
Oh, Borderlands, yeah, 2K.
Right,
they announced a couple of games. Too. Oh wow,
the BioShock collection's coming to Switch.
That's crazy.
There's another one that's super up my alley. It's I really loved Dragon. What's it? It's Dragoon. It's Dragoon Orta, which is on the Xbox. It's Panzer Dragoon. There we go.
Panzer Dragoon.
Yeah. So there's one coming to the Switch, which is like a remake of a certain Panzer Dragoon game. But the one I loved was on Xbox. Panzer Dragoon Orta. I fucking love that game. But I'm super stoked to play the Switch one.
It's kind of weird how that sort of like Star Fox-ish game it kind of died out. With Panzer Dragoon, can you control the dragon at all, or is it just aiming?
You can, but you have a limited, way you can. But you can kind of avoid obstacles, and then in Orta you could switch between 3 different dragons. They all have their different abilities and strengths, weaknesses. But you could move. It's just limited.
Right.
But
so
very
sort of like Star Fox,
for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Which is cool. I mean, it's interesting with that genre. I don't know how. I think that genre survived as long as it could.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Then that's fine, and you can play them and you can have fun.
Right.
And there just aren't new ones, but yeah.
I wonder if as everything got so photorealistic, or at that time super realistic, and FPS shooters, were kind of pushing the genre, pushing everything, the tech. So I feel like everyone just kind of like gravitated that way, or it got more popular in that direction. And so these other kind of older school gameplay mechanics just kind of died out, but it's still a fun series. Right. And of course it's beautiful. At least those games in the past were beautiful. They're very Japanese too, with the bosses you're fighting. But that's what I loved about it. It's just kind of nuts.
Yeah. I wonder how long those games were. I mean, I imagine those are hard, like content wise, because there's no stalling a player at a point. Like they just moving forward, so it's basically as long as you can make it.
That's
I
true.
imagine that being.
Yeah, that's true. I vaguely remember, at least with Orta, that was the only one I actually played all the way through. That was a good 8 hours, I want to say. And I would just replay it because I was, like a middle schooler and just insane and just loved playing, had the time, and was just investing so much time into this game. I think that was a game that I just rented on accident too, and it's just like, oh, this is dope.
Oh, really? Oh.
Nice, Gavin. Well, we can end it there, Gavin. I'll keep you on the line here, but we'll end our actual stream here. Where can they find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter at DrunkDevs.
Nice. You can find us on Plastic Heart Pod as well on Twitter. That's it for us this week. We will see you next week. Bye-bye.